What's up everyone, welcome to the first Summerboard vlog. So the Summerboard has arrived. Now before we open it, I just want to go through the process of getting this here. I live in Australia and this board is made in America, which is quite far away. I saw a few ads here and there back at the beginning of the year, and then I've seen something along the lines of it before, but then it was still their earlier prototypes and I didn't have much interest in it. But then I saw that they had released the SBX. I was interested again, and then I was watching and I was reading things about the new Summerboard, and then around after 6 months of looking at other people's videos and reviews, I decided to buy it for myself. I have been looking for something electric and something skateboard related. I used to skate, I don't really anymore. It's too aggressive for me. The impact on my knees and my back is a little bit too much. I have some back problems, so I stopped. But then, that feeling of being able to ride around freely, I really missed. So I was looking for something similar that's not so hard impact. And then I did have a good look at the one wheel because it looked really fun. But then the Summerboard was there. I'm really interested in snowboarding. I've never been snowboarding. It's always been on my to-do list for I don't know, maybe a decade now. I still haven't gone. So yeah, I just want to see how things go with the Summerboard. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and open it up. Now, I haven't cut anything yet, but the box arrived like this with the board already peeking out. The cardboard is ripped, so they could have taped it up a little bit more, and the couriers here in Australia are pretty rough, so can't really blame Summerboard either, or just the courier either. But a bit more sturdy packaging will be nice for such an expensive product. Okay, so just cut all the tape off. First reveal. Alright, there it is. Okay, so because of that box not being sealed that well, you got all that cardboard on the edge. It doesn't look like there's damage, so that's fine. Yep, that looks all fine. So I did get some spare parts. This box looks like it's the battery. Yep, it's a spare battery. So it's just another fresh battery in there. Hopefully these batteries work. I've heard many people have battery problems, so I'll need to test this battery out and make sure that it actually does work and it doesn't charge only a little bit or die after a few seconds or something. And it's relatively heavy. It looks pretty sturdy. I do know some people have had circuit problems or motherboard problems or something with these batteries, which is not something that I'm going to look forward to if it does happen. Now we have the board itself. Wow, this thing is really heavy. Okay, this thing is probably 5 times heavier than what I was imagining. Wow, man, this thing is heavy as. I might also be weak, but this thing weighs a lot. Wheels seem pretty good. Yep, I can feel why they would slide a lot. They are on the the harder, slipperier side of things, but it seems like it'll be good. You've got the drive wheels. Seems pretty solid. Now, one thing that everyone should probably check is to make sure everything is okay. they've got some really fresh grip tape. Okay. These sound like they could be lubricated a little bit more. Sounds a little bit rough to turn. It's not really turning that freely. I was hoping they'll turn a little bit more freely, but maybe this is better. Now, other things to check. Make sure that the motor is all good. Okay. Build quality, I would probably give it an 8 out of 10. You know, it's pretty good build. It's just the small things that I can already see. Maybe I can see some belt problems down the future. This belt is just moving to the side just from turning it by hand. Hopefully that won't give me many problems. This is one of the belts. It's, you know, nicely centered. This is the other belt. It's not really centered well. I'm not sure if this is going to be a problem, but even if I push it to this side and get it to come to this side a little bit, it'll just keep getting pushed out to the side. So I'm not sure what that is that's making it do that, but hopefully it won't be a problem. If it is, man, all those bad reviews were correct. Yeah. Otherwise it does feel pretty sturdy. And the last thing I got was a bunch of extras, some spare wheels, spare belts, because I knew they were going to be worn out and going to need replacement sometime down the track. Then you got, you know, the bindings, well, instruction manuals. I think that's about it. Charger. Now, there's already something that's missing. I got some launch pads with all of this, which is not in here. So I guess I'm gonna have to contact them and go through a bit of a hassle to get those launch pads that were pretty expensive as well. But yep, they're not in here. Oh no, that's the remote. Yep, they're not in here. So I guess they do live up to their reviews in a way, in getting some things wrong. Yeah, so this is the charger. Everything is here except for the launch pads. So, man, there's a lot of mixed reviews on the Summerboard. People say they have a lot of problems. The people who haven't had problems, they love it. But then there's just so many people who have had problems. In my case, you know, I've only just opened it and I haven't even ridden it, so I can't say anything about that. But already, you know, they failed to include what I actually paid extra for, which, you know, which sucks. So I'll let you all know how it goes when it comes to getting in contact with them and sorting that out. Hopefully it's a smooth process. Hopefully it's not a hassle like some people have been, you know, saying. It's hard to get in touch with them and things like that. Yeah, we'll set it up and see how it goes. Okay, so I was just checking all my orders with what I actually got, and I also realized that the freshies are missing along with the launch pads. Now, I know they're a small company. I know a lot of companies have had trouble this year And I'm fine with that. I have no problem with that. I waited 2 months. I didn't send any email to them asking them where it is, when it's gonna arrive. I waited patiently. I trusted them that they'll get it here, and it did come here. But no matter what companies are going through right now, not getting the order right is a bit of a problem. So in terms of that, I'm a little bit disappointed, maybe more than a little bit disappointed in the Summerboard company. Freshies and the Launchpad, both of them combined is actually quite pricey. I even hesitated to buy both of them extra, and then yes, they haven't sent it in the box. So what I actually got is I got the SPX, I got extra batteries, I got the Edge wheel set, I got extra timing belts, which I got all 4, and then the Freshies and the launch pads were the ones that didn't come. Now I'm not sure if it's coming in another box, because the box was pretty packed, but I'm gonna shoot them an email and see what's up with that, and then I will update you all on what happens. Alright, so I'm here at a parking lot at a shopping centre, and I'm just gonna try Summerboard for the first time. First time, still fresh wheels, have not ridden this thing at all. Let's check out how hard this thing is to ride. So, the things I can say is that the board has some serious power. That thing is powerful. I can only, turn the wheel just a tiny bit. Everything's fine, everything works, everything's connected. It's a little bit hard to balance at first. I can hop on, I can push and, get rolling. It's just turning is a little bit tricky. This floor is gripping a little bit too much maybe for the wheels. It's really smooth, coated car park, floor. So it is gripping a lot. It's not sliding much, but that's probably just me not being able to put my weight in properly. It's definitely not too hard to get on. I don't know why people are struggling to hop on this thing at the beginning. It's definitely hard to turn, but that was my first minute or two, and I can go around. So as long as you don't have below average coordination, which I feel like a lot of people do who have been reviewing these things, if you're not one of those people, then average or above average coordination, then I think you'll be able to pick this up really quickly. It's quite similar to a skateboard. I mean, I've been skating for a long time, and it feels very identical, except for the fact that you feel like you're grinding on a rail constantly or something. It feels weird. It feels strange, but I'm gonna try and get used to it. This thing is ridiculously hard to go in a straight line. And also, it's a really, really bad idea to start from completely stop because, man, you go like everywhere. It's best to start by pedaling a little bit, pushing, and then kicking in the power. Okay, so at the moment, it's really hard to get it to slide. To get it to slide, I need to really put my weight on the center wheels, but then as soon as I put my weight on the center wheels, it becomes really unstable and I'm rocking back and forth. So, yeah, not sure what I need to do. Let's move this. Okay, starting to get the hang of it a little bit. I'm glad I did put the bindings on because putting the bindings on lets me really trust the board and lean into it, which I wasn't doing just a few minutes earlier. I was a bit too scared to actually put my weight on it because I thought I would just slip out. That's probably the biggest wall that everyone will face at the beginning. But just then, I tried just committing. I don't care if I fall. I just put my weight into it, and for both front side and back side, I really leaned into it, and then the board becomes much more stable. So I feel like I need to just play around with the board a lot and figure out how to trust it as much as possible. I think once you trust it, then you can really maneuver it well. Until you trust it, if you don't trust it, you're going to be hovering around and you'll be, you won't be able to turn. Like, the board doesn't react well if you're scared and you're not committing to the turns. So I'm going to try and do a few more of those committed turns without breaking my neck. Man, this thing is such a workout for your legs. Okay, so one other thing that I just found out is lowering your center of gravity is really good. I would suggest practicing with your knees really bent like that, like an Asian squat, You're Asian squatting on the board. It's not scary because you're so low to the ground, and then you can just really lean in without being scared. So I feel like that's a good way to get the hang of the board. I did try and do switch, but I cannot ride switch very well, and the thing is terrifying. So I'm going to need to do more practice. I do feel like the trucks are a little bit too loose, so I'm going to go ahead and tighten it and see how that feels. Okay, so I just tightened up the trucks. You should feel a little bit better, hopefully. Not bindings. I've got my bindings on, but then the risers I've still got in there. So it'll be curious to see which one feels better, with the risers in or out. But the bindings, definitely having them in is good. I probably need to adjust them so they're nice and snug and in the right place. But yeah, that's a lot of trial and error. Okay, So, I've been riding for about half an hour. I can get, some turns in, some decent ones, and I've done some accidental 360s at the end where I can't stop myself from spinning when I turn frontside, backside. I can't lean forwards, okay? I can't lean forwards and keep hold the turn well without sliding the back out too much. With leaning back, I can do comfortable enough, and I feel like I can sort of control how much I slide. Still extremely dodgy, but I feel like give me a week and I'll be able to ride it pretty comfortably, hopefully. This is what my first half an hour, and I can ride around in an empty car park. So hopefully with a week's practice, and I can do a bit more riding comfortably and not look like an idiot when I start off as well. And then I'm guessing it'll be about a month or two until I can ride it comfortably in lots of other places. At the moment I just look like an idiot trying to control my out of control board, but yeah, hopefully we'll get there. Just gonna do a bit more practice and I'll call it a day. Okay, so we're approaching the 50-minute mark. Still less than an hour. This is my progress. Okay, so I can slide to a stop on my heels, and I can turn relatively okay on my heels, but on my toes it's so sketchy, it's so scary as well. And I have a feeling it might be a little bit easier taking the risers out and then tightening the trucks. I think it will make the ride a little bit more predictable. At the moment it feels like it's set up for riding without binding. In a way you don't get enough lean, I think. It's too in the middle and it's very easy to catch. And trucks are extremely loose as well, which is making it a little bit difficult, I think. So I'm gonna go and tweak a bit of those for the next session, and hopefully it'll be better. Okay, I'm back home now. And I thought I'd just do a quick recap of day one of the Summerboard. So it's definitely fun. I can see how it's close to a snowboard, and yes, they did get that right. Some good things about the board. The board is extremely powerful. It's got more than enough power, I feel like. Otherwise, any more power and I think there'll be lots of people getting injured or killing themselves, I guess. The other good things, it's really, really fun. It's a totally different feeling and set of skills that you need to be able to ride this thing. It's been my first day, my first hour really of riding this thing, so I can't really ride it to its full potential, but I definitely was able to get some good turns in there today, and just getting the feel of it at least a little bit. It's definitely not as hard as some people say it is. I think some people are like, oh, this thing's like impossible to ride, and I think those people need to be a little bit more patient, and it could also be that they're not as coordinated, or less than average coordination might be also what its fault. I would say my coordination is on the pretty good side. I can pick things up extremely quickly, usually. I think I did okay. Probably could have picked it up even quicker, but at the same time, you know, watching other people pick it up, I'm pretty happy with my progress. Now, some of the downfalls of this board, I would definitely say a lot of each individual parts feel a little bit cheap. As a whole, it looks pretty good, but then, you know, there's small things that, you know, make it a little bit, could have been a little bit cheaper. I would say a good price would be maybe about 2/3 of the current price. I feel like the current price of this board is way too much for what you get. The bindings, I need to really play with the bindings and find a good spot. And I definitely need to tighten it much more, but without breaking the actual board, without splitting it. The wheels are nice. The wheels are definitely nice. The battery is decent. I haven't used a full battery yet. Grip tape is extremely grippy. It's really harsh grip tape. The board itself, it feels alright, I guess. The board itself feels alright. The trucks, I feel like they could be a bit better. I already have the bushings already sort of squeezing out of its place. You know, stuff like that, small stuff like that. And I have this belt here that keeps trying to go to the edge, the far edge as possible. So, you know, might end up with some bent shafts, I guess. And one other concern is these motors and these wheels. When I spin them, there's a little bit of, you know, pulsing. It's not fully centered, and you can feel that it's swinging a little bit, both of them. So I'm pretty sure it's both of them. It might just be one, but it feels like it's both. So, you know, that's, you know, I would prefer if it was really straight and in the center, so it's smooth, but I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. Now, my biggest problem is the fact that I don't know how it happened. Someone in their team flopped it real hard. They didn't deliver two things that I got. I got the freshies, which I was really looking forward to. I feel like this board is only complete with the freshies. These normal stock wheels, I think, are way too hard. So the freshies, they didn't include that. And then they also didn't include the launch pads for the bindings. So those two things put together, let me check the price. Okay, so both those things together, that costs, so the freshies cost 149 USD and the launch pads cost 49 USD. So that's pretty much 200 US dollars worth of things that they didn't send. So that's a bit of a dog shot, I think. I've sent them an email straight away. You know, I mean, it was sort of expected that, you know, they'll flop something, because I've heard so many negative reviews and things happen, you know, with the actual board. But then, you know, I didn't expect them to get the order wrong and not send me something that I paid, you know, 200 US dollars for, which is, you know, it's such an easy error that, you know, they really shouldn't be making, I think, after, you know, paying thousands of dollars, you know. Yeah, so hopefully they're not too difficult to deal with, because I really feel like this board has some good potential, but, you know, they haven't been so good with their hiccups, or it seems like it from some other people. Some people have had good, you know, a good experience with them, but then I feel like there's far too many people who've had a really hard time. Like I said, I waited 2 months for this. I didn't send them any emails. I just waited patiently, and then, you know, it arrived today, just without a few things. But everything else, I had a blast on it. It's super fun. and I'm really looking forward to getting, you know, much better at it, so I can really shred some good spots that I have in mind. So yeah, hopefully these few things won't bring down, you know, the hype too much. I mean, you know, if Summerboard, if you're watching this, you know, come on guys, you could have done a little bit better in terms of, you know, having all the things that I've ordered in there. So, you know, I'm not going to be paying for them, hopefully, or the shipping, because, you know, I already paid for them and I've already paid for the shipping the first time. So, you know, if they do ask me to pay for them or pay for the shipping or something, then I'll be telling you guys, you know, ditch these guys, don't forget about them. But hopefully they won't be too annoying about it. It seems like they're a bunch of nice guys. And yes, I'll have to just keep testing. I'll have to make sure the second spare battery works properly. I've heard a lot of people have battery problems, so hopefully that spare battery, I don't have to find another surprise. Everything else pretty good. So yes, you can, you know, generally get the hang of it in the first hour. You can ride around. You can't ride comfortably, of course, but you can definitely ride around. So, you know, people complaining about it, you probably need to step up your game in your coordination, or you just need to be more patient. So yeah, hopefully I'll have another video soon of just either practicing or being able to shred this a little bit more. And yeah, subscribe if you want to see how this goes with Summerboard. And you know, you can give us a like if you liked it. You don't need to. I'm pretty chill with that. But yeah, see you next time.